talk about duality, discernment, and the journey of intimate self-understanding. So why along our path, along our journey, do we have to go through the motions of existing in a place where we are not getting what we want when we want it, and seeing the full unfoldment or manifestation of that highest calibration of our experience? And there's an absolute perfect answer to this question. First and foremost is that consciousness doesn't innately know. So if we look at the sliver of consciousness that you are, your unique soul blueprint, you are on a path of learning and discovery. And as you learn yourself, as you know the self, you start to realize your own patterns, your own unique design. But we don't get this unraveling of self without the basic function of duality. The whole purpose behind the intelligent energy in our universe is discernment through duality. And this is the context to know the opposite. So in our more youthful selves, we can become really frustrated or really embedded in negative thought forms and a projection of this victim mentality, or this idea that the world is against us or somehow the world is unfair. But as we ascend in our own knowledge of our journey, of our path of learning, we start to realize that everything that is not or is out of alignment with our perfect balance is only a mirror or a teacher for us that is leading us towards what we do want, that perfect balance. But we can't really discern that without really shifting through the energetic material. And so this is the beauty of each lifetime, each lesson, and that growth learning process. And once we realize this, and this also correlates to the teaching of loving your enemy. So if you can understand from a philosophical or metaphorical standpoint, an enemy can simply be something that is frustrating you, pissing you off, irritating you. Now, yes, another person can kind of embody that, but it can simply be circumstances, things, places, events that frustrate you. Now, from a higher vantage point, once we start to become spiritually awake, once we start to understand and integrate these lessons, we realize that that which is the enemy is actually the friend, because that thing, that mirror, whatever that is showing us so beautifully what is not in service of our highest good for our personal journey. That also doesn't mean that that emanation would not be perfectly aligned for some other individual on their path. So it's really important that we learn this intrinsic lesson that although we are unique, the fact that there are a multiplicity, an infinite level of unique fractals or unique energy bodies that hold their own intelligence, we do not have to be like the other to love the other. We can simply appreciate the lesson, love it, understand its duality and its context as it applies to our own learning journey, and then let it go. Everything in terms of intelligent energy has a purpose. Any person, place, situation, event will be will out-manifest because you called it towards you. There's something in it that you need to learn because it's part of what your soul asked to learn. Another aspect, this veil of intelligent energy that we operate with here on Earth, is the fact that we don't have a full spectrum remembrance of all of the layers and levels of our consciousness. This is purposeful. This is, again, how we learn in a very, very acute, authentic way. And when we can settle in from a spiritual, human, three-dimensional level into the understanding that we are here to learn, we can let go of a lot of the snags and tethers to irritation and frustration and those lower vibrational elements of the learning process. And as we ascend, so as we move up the scale in consciousness, we can embody each and every lesson that presents itself to us more quickly, more eloquently, and more gracefully. It starts to become fun once we really hit that point of neutrality. Once we have that remembrance or understanding of the journey to Earth, of our lifetime, of our path as a beautiful emanation of Source that is here to learn and grow in our own unique way, we start to see the world. So we start to have spiritual sight and see things differently. This means that we are tuning our frequency, or we've moved our frequency upwards in terms of our outward projection, because everything is an intelligent energy body that we are transmitting is an intelligent energetic transmission. So that is our projection outwards. That projection, so that energetic signature that we are emitting essentially, is finding its vibrational match in the quantum field and then mirroring back to us what it is that is next on the list in terms of our lessons and learning. Now, I don't want to misteach this in the sense that everything that you're going to experience is a lesson or a learning. A bit of a stall there for a moment. So I want to really have you understand that there's a lot of your experience that is just meant to be experiential. You don't really have to learn anything. You just kind of get to ride those waves of the enjoyment of existence. So in my teaching, in my explanation, I don't want to make it sound like absolutely every element of your day is about learning and digging in and deciphering. Not at all. A lot, a good amount of that intelligent energy and the output of what you are is simply enjoying the experience of living in the bliss of what it is to have a mind, to have a body, to interact with the world around you, to marvel at the world around you, to love others, to help others, to give to others, to learn from others. Absolutely. So really bringing it back full circle in terms of this lesson, please understand that if you are in a mental state or in a place where you are feeling like the external world is against you, this is the hallmark moment where you really have to go inside, turn everything inside, and start to look at your inner landscape. Start to watch your thoughts, start to watch what it is that you are speaking to yourself. Start to watch any judgments or jealousies or projections, even if they are internal and in the cycling of your own mental dialogue. What is it that your intelligent energy is producing? Take time with yourself. Take time to know yourself. And through this intimate knowledge of the self, we become very intuitive about what is going on with others as well. We become this graceful, beautiful, healing, guiding being, once we've gone through this process. And a lot of times individuals will ask me, well, how long does it take? What is a spiritual awakening feel like? Will I have more than one? How do I know I'm in this bubble of the spiritual awakening? Well, first of all, in the fact of the infinite expressions of experience, I cannot jump into your experience, and your experience will be different from mine. But you will certainly feel that there is an opening up of your consciousness. You will start to integrate source energy. You will start to feel God. That's really the easiest kind of way that I can explain this lesson. You will feel a warmth. You will feel a bliss. You will feel safety, protected, comforted. And all of these things will feel so real and so right and so much more than you've ever felt before. And you will just have this internal knowing, this internal quiet place that you can now anchor to. Will this feeling leave you from time to time? Absolutely yes, because we are getting that mirroring from the external world. That mirroring is collective. So that is coming from the multitude of other intelligent energies that exist here on planet Earth. So we are all collectively creating this external three-dimensional reality. I hear a lot of individuals talk about the matrix like it is something outside of themselves or something that they are not creating. The matrix is us. We are the matrix. Can that programming, can that projection be changed? Absolutely. But it has to happen in a collective manner. One individual cannot change everything. One individual does not have the power to change the collective. Many teachers can teach. The lessons can start to right the ship in terms of the discernment of thought forms. So again, we've heard a lot about the New Age, how many teachers have come here to help guide humanity into the golden age. Now, you can believe whatever you want. Fundamentally, what you believe affects. What I suggest is that you tether your consciousness to the most comforting, beautiful, safe belief system that you can. I also suggest that you do not tether your belief system to things that incite violence against others, hatred, condemnation, anything that tears down creation or life itself, because you will internally be fearful. If you are in an ideology, a semblance of thought forms, whether it is an edict of a dogma or what have you, that is internally what you are digesting and transmitting, embodying and processing. So from the standpoint of how actually comfortable you're going to feel on the inside, if you're following some sort of ideology that is teaching hate or destruction or war on others based on this instruction from a higher power, a God, whatever it is, that is extremely turbulent to be holding within the self. And I'm not going to divide the religions of the world and make judgment on what is correct and what is incorrect. But I think we all have an innate knowledge that when we would witness, or if we would witness, the taking of any life. Now, for me, it means any life, absolutely any life. The life of a small animal, the life of a bug, the life of a mammal, the life of a human being. Anytime we watch the destruction of intelligent energy which is streaming through a body, That is not a blissful experience. And I think everybody would agree with that. So what will take you to the highest emanation of your consciousness is completely eradicating even the knowledge of violence. But this takes time, and this takes withdrawal from that constant bombardment from the external world. So one thing that I've done that's extremely helpful, I don't watch the news. I do not tune into the frequencies of the chaos. I don't need chaotic energies embedding themselves, seeding themselves into my essence. Now, if those things are going on, of course, my internal and my external prayers, the energy that I'm emitting is a peaceful, loving, unconditional, non-judgmental energy. And that's something that I work on each and every day. Now, am I always perfect at this? No, I'm in a human form. I manage a lot of things. I have a lot of stressors. But even that, even putting myself under a lot of pressure allows me to practice the skills of peacefulness. And when I fail at this, I have the ability to reflect on what I could have done better, what processes I could have put in place to help balance my conscious energy. All of those things play into the augmentation of my own soul's energetic semblance. You have your own path. You're going to do your own work. I can only explain it from my vantage point. Hopefully, some of it is helpful and relevant to your journey and your story. So I'm going to wrap this video up and wish you a beautiful start to your day. I know it's early here in the gorgeous Rocky Mountains. I can see the horses in the fields, running around in the snow. Just absolutely beautiful here. Again, many blessings and enjoy your week.